Obviously, Miami's got one of the better defensive lines in the country, pass rushers specifically. Do you guys feel like you need to do anything differently in terms of helping out the offensive line going forward? Obviously, they struggled Saturday after having a pretty good performance in the opener.
Yeah, I think we got to do a better job finding what we're good at in terms of how we can protect some things to force the ball down the field. That's something we haven't had success with through the first two games, and so obviously what I'm doing and our plans to help those guys and put them in position to be successful, we've got to do a better job of. We've got to be more creative in getting us protected to throw the ball vertically down the field, because we're missing that part of the game right now. Every time we try to take a shot, we're just not getting it. We're not getting it off for various reasons. So we got to do a better job as a staff, starting with myself, of putting us in positions to force the ball downfield and helping our O-line in those situations.
Hey, Coach, Tate got out there. Obviously, that was an opportunity the game provided to get him kind of his first collegiate experience. How do you kind of evaluate how he handled the moment?
I thought he was ready. I mean, I wasn't down on the field, but everybody down on the field told me when we called his name, he was bright-eyed and he was ready to roll. There was no second guessing. He ran out there, and yeah, he made a mistake, but that's part of being a freshman and going out there. But he played with confidence, and that's the one thing when you're a freshman is you either play with confidence or you play scared. And that's what I was pleased with. He went out there and he played with confidence. And that's something we can work with.
Coach, you all seem to have success driving the ball down the field, but when you got to the red zone, to the end zone, you just couldn't capitalize there. What do you think contributed to some of those struggles?
Well, I think we had a bad play call there on the first drive. Just game plan wise, got down to the one, and I think had a bad call. That's one. Other than that, we had two penalties inside the 5-yard line. We had 3 drives where we went inside the 5 and we scored 3 points. We score on those 3 drives. I mean, it's 21 points, 17-point swing when you're talking a total of 10 yards. Really, we got to the 1 twice and the 4-yard line once. So you're talking 6 yards is a 17-point swing in a football game. So we got to do a better job of being disciplined and not getting penalties in the low red zone. And then we got to develop a better plan that can put the ball in the end zone. I mean, both those situations, we went for it. We had 4 downs really inside the 5, and we just couldn't get it done. And it's a testament to them. They did a great job stopping us, but we got to do a better job forcing the envelope and scoring touchdowns.
I don't know if you may not have ever been a part of a start like this, a start to a season. I'm not sure if you have, but does the challenge go beyond just execution to more of the mental side of it? And how do you does it change anything about your conversations with players going into a week like this?
I have not personally, but I mean, I think sometimes people forget that this is football, and every single day I'm gonna wake up the exact same. I'm gonna try to get better, and that's what Coach Norvell is. That's who this staff is. So the conversations we're having with our guys are the exact same. We're going to wake up today, and we're going to improve, and we're going to improve. And eventually, we're going to improve enough where it shows up on Saturdays. And once that happens, it becomes addictive. It becomes addictive, and they want to improve more and more and more. And that's how you build a culture, and that's how you build a program.
Kenny, the first 2 drives you guys have had in the game 1 game against Miami, your opening scripted drives have been both successful. I mean, probably a dumb question, but is there a simple kind of explanation as to why these scripted drives work out so well and then the offense can't kind of replicate that moving forward?
The rep count. Those scripted drives we rep over and over again, so our guys feel really comfortable with them. So I just think those are the plays that we get rep the most in practice. So they're the plays we execute the best. That sounds simple, but that is the answer. Is we rep those plays. We rep them on Wednesday. We'll rep them on Thursday. We walk through them on Friday. We walk through them on Saturday. So those guys in that same sequence, for the most part, get to run that drive 4 times. So when we get to Saturday, we execute. And too many times Saturday, once again, we put ourselves in long yardage situations because of execution. And I think that's where we just got to continue to improve is if we want to have those continued drives like we've had on the first drives, we can't put ourselves in 1st and 15 and 2nd and 25. We have to continue to keep ourselves in good down and distances. I mean, last week, I think we were over 60% on 3rd and 10 or less. Don't quote me on that exact percentage, but it's right around there. Oh, that's remarkable. 3rd and 10 or less, you're talking about over 60% or around 60% conversion rate. That's remarkable. But we're 0 of 5 on 3rd and 11 plus. There's your problem. Why are we in 3rd and 11 plus? How did we get there? And I got to do a better job preventing us from getting in those situations, whether that's simplifying what we do or finding what we do really well and just calling it over and over again. We gotta hone down what we're doing and make sure that we go out there and execute.
Kenny, with the fact that Chubb has been sidelined as far as practicing, where is he with the knowledge of the offense, what you guys are asking of him, and his ability to kind of get in there when he can, when he's cleared?
Yeah, I mean, he's in every meeting. He's doing everything all the other guys are doing. But at the same time, you can't replace reps. And so just waiting for him to completely get healthy, get back there, and keep getting reps like all the other guys. But I've been pleased with his mindset through this process. He's handled it like a pro. I mean, he comes from a family of athletes, so it's just normal for him to get up, get back, get rehab, go to work every single day, and try to keep getting better. And I think he's done that.
Kenny, Mike mentioned that the key for James is for him to kind of trust his fundamentals and the things that you guys are the positions you're trying to put him in. I mean, obviously, so much of his career is before you guys arrived. I mean, is there a certain point where you have to be mindful of what he's dealt with and if he can trust kind of what his eyes are seeing just because of what he's been through in his career?
I mean, we can only judge what we have. You know, I'm not going to judge him on before we got here. I'm going to judge him on this system and how to operate within this system. And when he takes drops, when he's in rhythm, early in games, you see that success. We just got to be able to, when bad things happen, we got to be able to handle those situations better. And that's not just with James. You know, we had 3 quarterbacks play yesterday. All 3 of them turned the football over in a variety of ways. It's when bad things happen, how do we respond? And that's when I've said that all along, that's what makes a good quarterback, is how do you handle the bad situations? Do you take a bad play and make it terrible? Or do you take a bad play and make it 2nd and 13? And that's what I got to do a better job of as a coach, is I got to do a better job instilling that in our guys, that sometimes taking a sack isn't the worst thing you can do. You know, sometimes throwing the ball away is the best play you can make. So I think for all of our guys, we just got to do a better job believing in that philosophy that sometimes the best thing to do, right, is to take a sack or throw the football away.
All right, last one, we'll go back to Kurt from the Democrat.
Coach Norvell talked Saturday. He liked the fight he saw from a lot of guys in the second half of that game. A lot of guys on your side of the ball was those young guys who really got a lot of burn just because of the game situation. You talked about Tate, but Lawrence, the wide receivers, those offensive linemen as well. I guess, what did you see from them getting that experience, and how invaluable will that, and hopefully I assume what you'd hope they get this weekend will be for them?
Yeah, I mean, I think our young guys, you know, came out there and they fought and they battled throughout the entire game, you know, once they got their opportunity. LT was a huge bright spot for us. I mean, he went in there and made guys miss, made explosive plays. I mean, you watch his plays, very few times did the first guy tackle him. And that's what you got to have. That's what playmakers do, is they don't get tackled by the first guy. And that's something that that showed up over and over again on tape for him. You talk about Tron, who goes out there and catches a back shoulder fade in a one-on-one situation. Really first real reps he's had being put in that situation. Brian Robinson battling his butt off. Talk about Robert Scott. I mean, those young guys went out there and they fought and they battled. And I was happy with how they fought. I was happy with how they battled. And we just got to keep progressing and keep fighting.